All right, Monday, March 24th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Great day in the market. We saw Nasdaq and the S&P both up over 1.5%. Nasdaq's up 2% right now. We've got the S&P up 1.73% at the close. Just a phenomenal day in the market. Our yen short playing exactly according to plan with a nice red candle today. Given the strength in the market, the yen is obviously falling as we had indicated in our previous market report. We saw the Dow up 1.4, which is nice. Cocoa, actually a missed trade here that I would have loved to have gotten on the 7,700 mark, but just a really volatile and high contract to trade, so it's tough to get in on that one. And then crude oil having a nice little bounce today and some solid movement higher here. I mean, we're taking out, these are some new highs for the month of March, it looks like. So we're pretty close to it. So yeah, good strength on crude oil despite the market being higher. We've got our short silver hedged with long gold, both of those actually trading lower today. And then soybean meal having another red candle, kind of giving back the gains that it had on Friday. Now, I want to do a quick review on some of these stocks, individual stock picks that I like and am currently watching. AMD. AMD is a chip processor that I think has really not had the spotlight for a while. We've seen all of this all of the spotlight being on Nvidia and even Intel. Intel having some spotlight recently with a new CEO coming in, and AMD's just been kind of under the radar. I've got some call options here and down on the bottom sub 100, and we're getting a nice bounce and gap up today on AMD. Financials look healthy. AMD is still a very predominant player in this chip market and in these CPU processing and graphics cards. That they're a great company. Really, for a long time, was AMD and Intel were the main two, and then you've got NVIDIA there for graphics cards. But for CPUs, anybody that knows anything about PCs, AMD is a top choice along with Intel, and AMD I just think is primed to head higher here. So I really like AMD at these prices and higher. I just think we're going to head higher here. We're up 7% on the day. Micron's another good company here that actually just beat out on earnings last week, I believe on Friday, and then they actually had gapped down, I believe due to sort of a it was either like forecasted future profits were lower or something to that effect, had it sell off a bit. But I actually took half off here at 109 that it gapped up to in the after hours and then rolled over. I still think Micron has room to head higher here. Wayfair is another really good stock that has been beaten down very much so, and it's actually up 13% on the day. We're getting a nice bounce across all assets here, but worth just highlighting this is another potential candidate that could head much higher. I don't know the short interest on these, but I would speculate that people have been shorting a lot of these as they've gone lower and lower. I mean, Wayfair is down a lot compared to the high that they were at back in 2021 at 320, and now we're trading at 37. I mean, it's almost a tenfold difference. Wayfair, I think, has room to head higher here. It's a company that's not necessarily going anywhere. I think they're still healthy and in a good spot, and I think that's a company worth buying. Coinbase, the next one. Coinbase, if we continue to see Bitcoin heading higher, and if markets continue to rally, I see Bitcoin heading higher. Coinbase blew out their earnings when they were trading above 300 here, and then had just dramatically sold off due to future forecasting and the slowdown and all these kind of general concerns about the market and tariffs and uncertainty. If you go back and look at Coinbase earnings, they did a phenomenal job, and yet they sold off. I think this is a great opportunity to be buying. Moderna is another interesting one. They've been kind of chopping around up and down here. We're trading near some lows, but again, another company that I don't think is necessarily going anywhere, but is trading down from, at one point it was trading at $4.90, and now it's $34. We've got things with bird flu and COVID's still around, and there's just still opportunities for these companies to make money and have vaccines. I mean, we have all this vaccine skepticism and not to get into politics, but it doesn't make it an easy case to be buying something like Moderna here. But I think if we break above 35 and break out of this channel, we could head a lot higher. So I like Moderna. I also like Five Below, which is one of these dollar store retailers. If we head into a recession, I could see these dollar store brands getting a bid. They're all beaten down pretty significantly. Let's see if we can break out of this channel. We'll add an alert here. But Five Below, very healthy financials. I do think we can head much higher. Next one is Tiger, which is a bit of a short squeeze potential, I believe. I believe this is a Chinese company that had squeezed higher way back again in 2021, where we were at highs of something like $38. Now we're trading at 8. And this thing has been popping as China markets have gone up and off. And I've got a position here. I've sold out of my options, but I'm still holding the stock long as we head higher. I could see this thing gapping up, breaking above $10 or $11. Devon Energy is a good one from a standpoint of having a diversified portfolio, good energy company trading at low valuations, now starting to head higher, especially as crude oil is heading higher. Qualcomm's the other one. Qualcomm in the kind of semiconductor space and computer and chip processing, trading at a low valuation, low price. At one point, this stock also was trading up. Looks like the highs were probably more recent at 227. Now we're at 160. Qualcomm, though, I think also looks pretty good from a technical standpoint. And the stock that I'm watching, I have a very small position in this stock. Baidu is another one, the China trade that I've seen play out. I've actually made some decent profits on Baidu and Alibaba, and I've taken my options contracts off, and we're just holding a core position here that remains in the underlying stock. And then PayPal, another company that's just been crushed here that I think can start to catch a bid if we see this market get very risk on back in 2021. I mean, this is a high for many, many stocks if you look at 2021 here, but we were trading up to 309 and we're down to 70. That's almost a 1/5 reduction. So these are some stocks that I'm watching. I'm in AMD and Micron. I'm in on Wayfair and Coinbase. Small position on Moderna, small position on Five Below and Tiger, small position on Devon Energy and Qualcomm. Baidu's a decent position and PayPal as well. That's what we're looking at. Markets had a nice day. Let's continue to see how things play out, and we'll put out another report later in the week. So appreciate you listening. We'll talk soon.